refresh is like you're not doing any consented work, you're just putting in new fixtures and fittings, you're touching it up, you're replacing like for like. Whereas there, when you're knocking out walls or putting new French doors in, you need a consent, and that consent process costs money, costs time, it holds it up. Yo, we've got fresh white paint on the walls. It's amazing how good a fresh coat of paint makes a place look. This house used to be on the front of the section. We picked it up, moved it to the back, which made room for that house over there. And that house has actually been recycled from one of our building sites around the corner. We've taken this site and we're recycling 2 old homes. They're both getting a refresh and a renovation up to healthy home standards, and they're going to get put back into the rental market. And that means that we've opened up a new development site around the corner. Stone bench top getting installed tomorrow. A stone bench top will elevate the house into the 21st century and make it a little bit more durable, which meets our clients' needs of putting tenants in here. So we've got carpet going down, and then we're going to install curtains, and this house is done. So Nicole and I have just walked around and done a final list of things to sort out. We've noticed about 4 panes of glass got cracked in the house move process. We have written a list of things: heat pump, plumber, Sparky needs to do a little plug over there. Basically, we just walk through every room. What do we need to do? Write a list, get it all sorted in one go. Outside, we've involved a landscape designer and come up with a landscaping plan to create zones, parking, rubbish bin areas, washing lines, all of those things that you forget to think about, but that you actually need to live your life in a space. By getting that on a plan early on, it means that you're not doubling up on the work you're doing and you're getting everything in, you're allowing space for it. Outside plan's looking awesome. We just need to do planting, topsoil, grass seed, and then the outsides are done. There was a chimney here and we demolished it for the house move and a hole in the floor. We've decided to turn it into a little study nook area. It's not massive, but one little thing that makes a little bit of more usable space here. Originally we were looking at knocking out this wall and opening up the kitchen and lounge area, but there's load bearing on this wall and this wall, which meant we were going to have to put a beam in the roof. We worked out that the cost of doing that work, while it would make this space epic, it wasn't going to give us bang for buck. And so in the end, we kept the walls as they are and we turned it into a study nook. On the front house there, we're just waiting on jib to get installed on the walls. For that to happen, we need to get our consent. Early on, we put in a consent to knock out some walls. You know, this house has been refreshed. Other than moving it on site, it hasn't needed a consent. And so that's the difference between a refresh and a renovation. A refresh is like you're not doing any consented work, you're just putting in new fixtures and fittings, you're touching it up, you're replacing like for like. Whereas there, when you're knocking out walls or putting new French doors in, you need a consent, and that consent process costs money, costs time, it holds it up. So basically the front's on hold while we wait for Hutt City Council to process the consent. As soon as it's approved, the boys will be back, we'll put the jib on the walls, we'll make the front house look like the inside of this house. There used to be a wall right here, so this was quite a tiny pokey kitchen. And then there used to be a wall right here, so had kitchen, dining room, lounge, and there used to be a bigger window here. We've reduced the window, so the kitchen's gonna come right to here, pantry over there, and opened it up big time. Jib's on site, ready to go on the walls. As soon as we're consented, we'll get insulation in the roof and the walls. We will then be able to chuck the jib on, paint, plaster, flooring, kitchen. It's all stacked up, ready to go, just waiting on that consent. This used to be a wall, and there was only like a little pokey front door to get out onto this area here. So the deck's new French door has been installed. Anywhere where you're cutting an opening into a wall, most likely you're going to need consent. You're going to need to get the beam up top designed. It's going to take the roof load, spread it to the sides, then you can put your opening in. Whereas, say we want to remove that window, we can take that out, cover it up. That doesn't need a consent. This used to be a separate loo and toilet. We've knocked out the wall in the middle. We've closed off the doorway to the loo. We've kept the doorway to the bathroom, and we're going to rejig all of that, make it one room, makes it way more usable. We've got to chuck some jib on the walls. We've got to do some bracing elements down there, jib in there, and then we can finish off everything inside here.